Oh man, so in a market which is red and bloody, COTI is the shining star. It's up today, 2.55% at the time of recording, and now we have posted another green candle here on the daily chart, which is fantastic. We've had two really big candles here coming through and breaking through this long-term downward resistance level as shown by this white line here, and you can see this is now a nice clean breakout. We have been pushed down slightly lower intraday, but we've wicked as high as 42 cents here intraday. We're currently sitting at 39.8 ish cents here on COTI. And what's going to happen next? What's my next price target for COTI, and why do I think it can almost 80x from here? I'm going to show you that in the video, so make sure you stay tuned till the very end. But as we can see, finally ADA over the last few days, we know we've got the lead up to Sunday swap on Thursday, has started to gain some traction. ADA's had a slight retracement today. Head over to my ADA video to watch that one in detail. But here on COTI's continued the movement to the upside as people have started realizing, in my opinion, just how important the JED issuance is going to be. And I think this catalyst has finally hit. We've been speaking about this on the channel for ages. I remember when it was announced, guys, we said, hang on a second. Even before the JED issuance was announced, we were sat at 66 cents and we got rejected by it. How could we get rejected by it again? This has not been priced in. And remember, at the time, we were looking at this cup and handle pattern with a price target of 80 cents here on the technical price target. And we were like, how can that not be priced in? And since then, we saw a massive bleed in Bitcoin. Cardano went the same pattern like this. And naturally, we're going to move in sympathy here on COTI with ADA because they're very correlated projects. A lot of people told me, no, they're not correlated. COTI is its own thing. I get it, guys. But you got to understand, COTI is very small market cap right now. And people associate, right? Investors, to make things easier, they bucket things in their head. So when they think ADA, they'll think COTI, same as me. It's an ecosystem play for Cardano. So as I said throughout this, COTI is a small part of my ADA position, right? Which is a smaller part of my wider portfolio. So they will move in relation to it because a lot of people will be thinking in a similar way. So we have to understand that here on the long term. But the good news here is we really have managed to pick up here from our floors here on COTI. We wicked down all the way down to 25, which is fantastic buying opportunities on COTI, and we're now about 65-ish% off our lows, which is fantastic growth here just over the last, just since the 6th of December here, 5th, 6th December. So massive uptick here in COTI. I think one of the key reasons, like I was saying, was the issuance of this JED token. I don't think people quite understand that COTI has been announced by Cardano to be the official issuer of their stablecoin, their algorithmically backed stablecoin. Now, I don't think it's clicking in people's head. We said this at the time, and that is why I was so shocked why we didn't break through and hit our 80 target. But now it makes sense. People didn't have belief in ADA, right? So if people didn't have belief in Cardano, they thought that Cardano was not going to deliver Plutus, they were not going to deliver any good DeFi projects, nor a DEX or anything else, then how would anybody ever use JED token, right? So almost COTI got the stick of people down not believing in Cardano. So now that we've got Sunday swap, which has been tested successfully on the testnet, it's scheduled for launch on the mainnet on Thursday. Now you're starting to see recoveries on COTI because people are thinking, hang on a second, if people are using DeFi, there's total value locked, there's activity happening on the Cardano blockchain, then naturally the JED token will be minted and burned. And guess what, guys? Every time the JED token is minted or burned, it's very important, guys. Let's head back into this. Every time this happens, we know that that gets put into ADA, which is converted into COTI, which goes into the Treasury. And the Treasury is set to be launched for February. We had that announcement from the founder a couple of days ago. And we now know that when from that Treasury, if you're staking COTI, you get access to that pot here. So now that gets people thinking, hang on a second. This means that COTI and the JED token, more importantly, is almost like the Luna and the UST on the Terra blockchain. And so people are starting to put two and two together and saying, hang on a second, the APYs could be crazy. If people are just using this algorithmically backed stablecoin on the ADA network to pay their gas fees, this could be a massive uptick for COTI, and the APYs, if you're staking COTI, could be huge. And that is one of the reasons we're seeing this uptick start to happen here on COTI. And it's a really impressive move. What are we looking at from the Fibonacci levels? As we can see, swing low to swing high. For me, we got some bunch of horizontal resistances here, right? You can see we're facing resistance at the horizontal support already at about 44. And then the next important level for me is 49. So let's just look at that first, actually, before we go into the Fibonacci's. What I want to show you is on the breakout from this level here, it's very important that we clear this high here. So I'd almost say 45 cents is a very important level. You can even argue the horizontal from here if you ignore the wick at 43. We need to get above there and post a high above there. If we can do that, if we can get above there and consolidate and then build higher, that would be good news here for COTI. But again, guys, I've got to caveat it with Bitcoin is not looking good. If you've not watched my other videos today, go watch those videos. Understand that Bitcoin is hanging on a ledge right now, which I've been saying for a while, and there's still risk to the downside, right? Until we create this floor and beat some of the criteria which I've set in those videos, we're not out of the woods, okay? So we have to be very, very careful. We're in a red market right now, albeit that COTI's having a slight green day today. We can't be too arrogant or ignorant to think this can continue to carry on to the upside. So we do this technical analysis with a pinch of salt. Very, very important when Bitcoin is struggling, and we got 24 on the fear and greed index. Okay, very important to caveat that. So that's what we're looking at here. We need to get above this 43 line, call it 45 would be even better if we can get above this line and head higher. At that point, I'd then say we need to get into our Fibonacci golden pocket. If we can get between 52 and 53, that would be a good outcome here in the short term before worrying about how do we get higher to 66 cents and then our longer term price targets, right? So my medium price target, obviously here from just this swing low to swing highs, our Fibonacci extension at the 1.618 Fibonacci golden ratio of 96 cents here on COTI. Okay, so I'm excited for us to get there. But longer term, how are we going to ATX? Where's this come from? Why is this even a possibility? Well, you guys know when you're valuing, whether it's a company or a property or any asset class, particularly crypto, in order to understand how big this project can be, you need to look at other platforms out there that are doing similar things. And like I've just explained, one of the ones which are coming up recently is Luna. And Luna, we know, and we've been monitoring this on this channel as well. It's been on an absolute tear. We monitored that on this channel. We met our first price target at 76. We continued to roll higher to our next target of 100, and I've now set my next target, if you've been watching my Luna videos, of $140. So this is really impressive for a coin which, if you go back to the 21st of July, so just over 6 months ago, was trading at around $6, right? Call it $6. So massive move here for Luna, and it's continuing to head parabolic, right? It's still doing super well here on the Luna chart. So if we compare that and you run the calculations, you will see that if COTI was to achieve Luna's market cap, and by the way, let's not be let's understand where we're at right now, right? Prices are suppressed because Bitcoin has retraced almost 40%, right? Bitcoin's nowhere near its all-time highs, let alone if Bitcoin rallies up to 100K, 150K. Imagine what Luna's market cap will be. So this is in its reduced mode. Imagine if COTI can achieve Luna's today's market cap. That implies a 79.45x here on COTI. We'll give you a $31 COTI. Huge. I mean, to do it in even a crazier way, what about PayPal? Well, PayPal has a market cap of 206 billion. Now, if we were to divide that by our current COTI market cap, so you've got 206 billion divided by 0.8 billion, let's call it, because let's say it's at 800. Well, actually, no, let's use the normal market cap. Sorry, 0.346, because the market cap currently is only 346 million. That is giving you an almost 600x here on COTI. A 600x is huge, right? So hopefully that gives you an idea of how big the potential could be for this platform. Hopefully that gives you an idea, because obviously we look at our technical targets like we did here on the chart, and we set those short-term to mid-term targets. But longer term, we need to understand what is the potential for such a project. And I think Luna at an ATX valuation, is not a far-fetched target for something like COTI, which if it becomes the Luna of the ADA blockchain, it's a huge coup, right? So a lot of the price suppression we've been seeing recently is just because people were not believing in ADA. Now, I want to caveat all of this. Sundae swap scheduled to launch on the ADA blockchain on Thursday. Do not be surprised, guys. I'm going to make this very clear for you. I don't gain anything by doing this. If anything, I get stick for spreading FUD. But don't be scared if there's buy the rumor, sell the news. Very important. We've monitored that on Phantom on numerous occasions. We did it for ADA and COTI as well at that event, and I continue to do the same here. Don't be surprised if Thursday we get a run up in the price action all the way up to Thursday. Thursday happens, we see some bug on Cardano, right? COTI and ADA prices tank down. Very normal behavior. These are just softwares. That's why you need to invest in the longer term, in the projects you believe in. Don't get fudded out. Don't get scared. Don't panic buy. Don't panic sell. Do everything rationally, logically, write it down, know your entry points, calculate your entry points, and just sit back and wait for your bets to pay off over the long run. If you're right, then sit back and let it play out over a year or two. You shouldn't be panicked, you shouldn't be rushed, because this should just all be heading in one way, the way that works in terms of our conviction being high. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you appreciate this blend between technical and fundamental analysis, which is our signature here on this channel, is to bring that blend, because we don't just want to talk technicals and chart patterns without actually knowing what's going on with the yields or the stock market or what's going on with on-chain metrics or fundamentals. We want to give you that holistic view of the crypto market. So if you appreciate that, make sure you hit up the like button, subscribe if you want to support this channel a little bit more. A lot of you asking if I have some private paid groups. Consider becoming a member of this channel here on YouTube. That way you can become a member of this channel. You'll get a nice sticker next to your name, but you also get access to our community thread. So if you had any specific questions on coins or your portfolio or anything else, I can give you non-financial advice over there. Don't forget, link in the pinned comment will be the link to our free public Discord server. Make sure you head over into there, meet the community, spend time in the community. Crypto is about educating yourself and immersing yourself in the community. A new crypto investor or trader is born every single day, and we need to make sure that we're educating each other, we're helping each other, we're sharing news, we're sharing psychology lessons as well, because a lot of this is psychological. So make sure you head over to there. If you have any questions for me, tag me as always, and I'll see you in